everyone, it's Jaden. Welcome back to my channel. Today is another story time video. I will be sharing another story from my health crash recovery. Another setback. Major one. It's one of my last major setbacks. This happened in the middle of, like early middle phase 3. Okay, and this is around that time where a lot of my symptoms have subsided and my energy level variance, the ups and downs, were much less extreme than they were in phase 2. So having no one let the way for me when I was going through it, I thought, well, I have recovered. I think I can take on more stressors. I learned that I do have, by that point I had learned about, having setbacks and what to do and what not to do somewhat. But again, it was a new thing. Nobody was posting videos on YouTube about their experience with this. So I thought, well, if I've already had that setback phase, months of it in phase 2, I thought, well, this is true recovery now and I can add more things. I was wrong again. So at the time. So I decided to take a trip to the Midwest, Oklahoma. For those of you who don't know, I live in LA. So first of all, I don't have major flight anxiety, so that in itself wasn't a major anxiety or trigger for me for my health imbalance issues. But what had happened was, on my way back, my flight was supposed to leave at 9 p.m. and I had a massive layover. It was like major weather issues then in that part of the country. I think it was like storms or hurricanes or something. And so I was stuck at this tiny airport for like 8 hours. Okay, and I was stuck there from 9 p.m. until like 6 a.m. So I'll tell you this whole experience, but so the crash wasn't because I had like flight anxiety, but it was because the way things lined up and all the stressors along the way that caused it. So I found out that morning that on the way back, my flight was going to be delayed an hour. So I thought, okay, well, it's not so bad. Well, I get there to the airport and I realized that all the food courts were shut down because the workers couldn't come in to work because of the weather. And barely any flights were even flying. And that's why my flight was delayed. So, which they thought it was an hour, and then it turned into 2 hours. Then it was like 4 hours. And so this whole time I'm crammed into the terminal for my flight, and it's just so many people. Like, we were one of the few flights that were flying. Rest of the airport was like closed off, and there's just so many people, and like in one closed space, everybody kind of had that like very anxious energy, so it wasn't easy to be around. And there was no food because the food courts were all closed. I couldn't even get junk food, which is mostly what they had there. But I just couldn't get any food, period. So I had so many things going against me as far as this health thing, right? So I couldn't eat, not even bad food. Like, I just literally couldn't eat. And I couldn't sleep because I was supposed to get on the plane and sleep, or at least just be quiet and then get home in like 3-4 hours, and go to bed at midnight. But like, I had an 8-hour layover in this crammed, stressed out area with a whole bunch of other stressed out people that wants to get home. Of course, I couldn't sleep. So insomnia, sleeplessness, no food, and I'm around all this stress, energy. Oh my God. That I just knew. I was like, oh, I effed up. And I've gotten myself into a bigger situation than I can handle right now. And I could just sense that crash setback thing coming up. So I finally get on the plane. This story doesn't end there, right? So I get on the plane and it's just, people are just like in the worst moods, right? like everybody's trying to get to their seats. Everyone wants to be first. Everyone wants to put their package in first. No one wants to let somebody else go first. I mean, it was just so stressful on that flight. Everybody was like, got this like mad / like aggravated energy. And I sat, of course, next to a family of 3 that was like dad, mom, and the kid. And the kid was super hyper and like nonstop kicking my chair. And I was just getting hit with stressors left and right. And then even though I don't have flight anxiety, that flight was actually very, very turbulent. And there was like so many air pockets that we went through. Like the plane would go like, so that was also stressful. Again, not like a major trigger for me, but to add on top of all the other stress, it was pretty significant. And then we landed finally in LAX. I'm starved. I've got shaking symptoms coming up. And I just knew, I was like, oh, I have really effed myself up for this. I didn't even really have to take the trip then. And why did I, and all this. So I haven't had sleep. I haven't eaten. I'm just like, oh my God, how can I deal, right? And then the kids loud the whole time. And then we could not pull to a terminal at LAX for an hour after we landed. So it was like this really turbulence and like landing. Like there were people cheering when we finally landed because they thought like we're all dying because it's just like, it was just like whoosh. So again, we landed, and then with all that anxious energy on top of wanting to get out of this plane, we couldn't get out for like an hour. Like they couldn't get the terminal because I guess we came at the wrong time. I don't know. It was just a very, very crazy trip. So, and everyone's cussing. Everyone's in a bad mood. They just want to get the F off of this plane. So we landed an hour. We finally pulled up to like the gate or whatever. And then, of course, just this rush of people, right? Like just wants to get out of this plane. And I get like my backpack gets knocked on because I was getting up to get, and then, somebody just went for it. So it was like another whole physical stress, and just being so close to people. It wasn't COVID at the time, but still, like there was just like so many people. So, okay, so then I managed to get off the plane, and I had parked my car in a parking lot you had to take a shuttle from LAX to this parking lot. And of course, I get out, and it's just like mountains of people everywhere trying to get on shuttles. Took me another like 45 minutes to get on the shuttle. And of course the shuttle was full. Everyone's hanging on to like the railing, cramped. Like, and I just want to get the F home. By then I had heart palpitations, like shaking, trembling. I mean, adrenaline rushes like non-stop, cramping in my solar plexus. Like I just knew this is going to send me back. And so I get to my car, pay for parking, drove home. And by the time I got home, I just fell over into my bed. And it was like a week, like a full setback week. That was my last major setback, however. This was like in the middle of phase 3. Again, I did not know better. I had nobody telling me, leading the way on the dangers and the pitfalls that could happen. And I learned the hard way, guys. So I've said this before. I've set out to make these videos to help people that's going through the same thing and not make the same mistakes I did, having to just crash and burn so many times to learn. So, but I do want to shout out to those of you who comment and tell me how, harsh it is when you guys have your setbacks and stuff like that. I understand. Just because I'm so, well now and everything's fine, I went through hardship after hardship. But the good news is our bodies are so resilient. Like, you still come back. It's like your body loves you. You just, if you be nice to it and do the right things, with the time, it bounces back. It comes back. Whereas at the time, I thought I would never come back from this. I thought I had permanently messed myself up. And I saw no light for a while. But, you know, here I am. 10 months. Almost 11. I'll be 11 months, like fully recovered for 11 months in June. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that story, found it entertaining or helpful in some way. I don't I think it's just more of like a stress relief to hear somebody else's experience who have had it so bad and have recovered. So and that's what these type of videos on my channel is about. I do different formats. Like some are very proactive about the insights and tips. Some I get into specifics. Some is more about the routine. And videos like this, it's more about just you know, finding similarities, relief, reassurance, that type of thing for you guys. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Please don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon. I guess this is very important to help my channel growth, which is my desire to have, expand my audience. And yeah, click the like button, the thumbs up button for my videos really help me too. If you like my videos, please comment your experience, questions down below. Check out my Facebook, download my ebook. I've created a ebook that you can download off my website, jadenchristopher.com, and it's a written down like ebook about what I went through. So it might be nice for you to have something written down instead of just video and audio. Lots of great stuff going on in my Facebook group. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Have a great weekend, and see you guys soon, okay? Bye.
But you